Good morning and welcome to the RV Homestead Texas. We missed the update last week because we weren't here. We went to Galveston Island State Park and yeah, the wind blew all week except for the big day, which was May Days, D-A-Z-E, May Days. That was the Dude RV gathering that we held down in that part of Texas. So anyway, we're back, and it's time to take a look at what happened while we were gone. Not quite as much as I had hoped, but they did accomplish some things. Somebody just arrived to start work, so before they start doing what they're doing, we're gonna go and give you, here's where we are kicking off the week. So on our last episode, you saw that we had the utility corridor completed. Reached out to the power company, and they supposedly came out and measured for the underground cable last week. Check it out. We have painted cabinets. And then all the drawers, they've covered the floors. That will be revisited later. Can't see much in there. Good morning, how are you doing? Good. So then we have, it's all dark in here because the sun's not quite up yet, but cabinets in the utility room are done. All the cabinets have been painted. We have baseboards. Doors are trimmed out. All of our doors have been painted. And hopefully, painting will be done this week. All right, so we'll check back in. It's still daylight. Check this out. Wait until it gets dark. Look how bright those things are. No bunny gonna be sneaking up on us. Happy is Daffy's happy. It's early. Sun is, it's just now getting light. Guys worked until about 6 o'clock last night. Painting. It's interesting watching them work. So yesterday they were painting the trim, the baseboards. They'd paint and then work on masking and then come back and do sanding, and it just gradually moved through the project, painting and sanding. They put a coat on the ceiling here yesterday. We're working on doors. I think it's entirely possible that by the end of today, they could be painting our walls. We'll be working on the ceiling in here. Ceiling's done in here. And we have so much storage space in this. We'll never have to worry about finding a place to put a blanket again. All right. We'll come back maybe later in the day, see what else they have accomplished. Boy, do we need gutters. We are under a tornado warning. So I got out of the motorhome and came down to the building. Really, I have no radar. We have no weather radio. All I have is observational talent. And that may not be enough. Fortunately, we're below the crest of the hill. So we have a ridge right there. So most of the wind is above us. Look up in the treetop. I'm definitely going to have to put in some kind of drainage. I mean, we're cutting a channel down there. But fortunately, I didn't dig up all the trees and leave that bare. Thursday morning. Let's go see what it looks like. The painters were here until late. I don't know, they rolled out here probably 6 o'clock. What do you think? In case you're wondering about that, that is for the outdoor shower up on the RV pad. That's the privacy screen. It'll be also, because we have an outside shower going here, so I can rinse the sand off before I go in the house. Also be a good place to wash the dogs. Ah, I just love the forest. It's kind of cluttered out here because I've been doing a Friday's Finds production. So the countertop guys were here measuring yesterday, and then one came and measured, and then somebody else came in and created templates for our counters. Looking good. Walls are all painted. Trim is all painted. Ceilings are all painted. Drawers have been installed. We still have to hang swinging doors and put in our clothes rods. Trim out electric and plumbing. Love that shower. I like that shower too. We should have put a pocket door right there. Oh well, because it would have worked out. But that was kind of an afterthought. My bad. Well, doesn't take long to walk through especially since we walk through it every day. You know they'll be coming back because they left their music in their microwave. All right. Time to go to work. Gotta go back to my Friday's Finds project. It's Friday morning. I have a new bird feeder cam. I really like that one. That's a Friday's Finds over on Dude RV. Those are fun. You have an app and you don't even have to go outside. You can just sit there and watch the birds on your phone. I prefer sitting outside, but let's see what was accomplished. Oh, gotta have a light. I am happy to report that I have more hummingbirds than I've ever had. Hummingbirds are good to have around because they eat mosquitoes and they're fun to watch. I've counted at one time about 12. Okay, painting crew just rolled up. Not sure where we are. I think they're done. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Just doing my opening shot for the end of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Looking good. We didn't touch the cabinets.
No, it's sticky.
I know.
If you close the doors, when you open,
it ruins them.
Yeah, right, you need to leave it like that.
Oh, we're missing now our shelves. It'd be so awesome when we have some real light to work with. Nothing new in there. We should have countertops next week. And the electrician should be here Monday. All right. Okay. We'll see where we are at the, probably in the morning. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Saturday morning has arrived. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning it is. It's kind of cool, crisp, very nice. So I realized I'm in the edit on this video, and I realized that I'm missing some footage. I think I accidentally deleted it while I was working on the Friday's Finds video. So I'll give you a recap. Tuesday, when you saw all the rain, so before all that started, I had reached out to the electric company to check on the status of our cable, because they're providing the underground cable. And it was my understanding that they were actually going to deliver that, but I was wrong. So I'd called and said, hey, what's the status on this? And they said, oh, it's ready to be picked up. Oh, okay, well, we can't move forward on that part of the project until we have that cable. And so I stopped what I was doing and drove 40 minutes to pick it up, and then 40 minutes back, knowing that we had that weather coming. And after I got back, I sat down to eat lunch, and I just happened to look at the radar. And, oh my goodness, there's a radar indicated tornado on the way. I don't want to be in that if we got a tornado coming. So I left the food and just ran down to the building. Then you saw the torrential rain. And then later that day, the postal carrier, we've got the best postal carrier. I cannot say enough great things about Amber. She's fantastic, but she had stopped by to check on me because she knows we live in a motorhome, and we don't have a whole lot of connection, and there were actually tornadoes. And so she just stopped in to check on me. We're all good here, okay. Wednesday, it was just another painter's day. And I was finishing up Friday's Finds stuff. And I'd updated the builder. We had the cable Friday. They showed up yesterday. And I didn't capture any of this, but the electrician and the plumber both arrived to install the cable. Because I called him, I said, I got this cable. We've got to go. It's in the back of my truck. I need this. Can somebody help me get it out of the back of my truck? Anyway, the plumber and the electrician showed up. So we had a conversation with the septic company Monday. Yappy had to leave. No, it was on Friday. The septic company, last Friday, the septic company had sent me what we needed to get the permit from the county for our septic system. That was passed on to Yappy, but she had to go to Dallas and do some of her events and did not have access to a printer. And so anyway, She arrived back Thursday night late, Thursday afternoon. So yesterday, I went into town to pick up the paperwork that needed to be filled out so we can get the permit. The office lady was not there, and the guy gave me the paperwork. I'm like, great. I get back here, get it filled out. Meanwhile, the electrician shows up. And they're going to pull the cable. I had to run into town. I get to pick up the paper. I get back, and they're starting the process of pulling the cable. Jappy has filled out the forms. I take it back into town and give it to the lady, and it's on the wrong county. It's on the wrong form. And so you got to keep in mind, it's a 18-mile drive from here. So when we go into town, we try to minimize those one-item trips. So ran in there because I got to get back here with to shoot video of the electric stuff, and I get that running around done. I get back here, and the first thing they tell me is the electric conduit is clogged. They cannot get their fish tape to go through there. Now that's weird, because I had these capped off in the interim before they started the project. And back in the day, the 90s, I did electrical service installation. And then I worked as an electrician's helper, commercial electrician's helper, for another, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So I pull a lot of wire through big conduit. And they're showing me that the cable, the fish tape will only go so far. But it was pretty far, and it looked like it's a clog somewhere under the coach. Well, then we run the fish tape from this end, from the coach end, down. And the only reason I say coach is because that's where our power pole is. That's where the transformer. And the fish tape would go almost to the building. So there's no clog. But they're saying, oh, no, there's a clog. We're going to go get the big vacuum. Okay. So while they were going, I know that with absolute certainty there's no clog in there. And I look at the end of the electrician's fish tape, and he's got some wire and electrical tape on the end of that. So that's creating friction. And we have 3 90s, long sweeping 90s, which that's, over a 200-foot span, that's not that much. But it can be a push. And if you've got electric tape on the end of your fish tape, pushing, it drags. And if you got a little piece of wire sticking out, it's going to dig in those curves. So I cleaned up his fish tape and pushed it through and pulled their fishing line, which is the heavy braided nylon pull tape. And so by the time, and then I call their boss and say, hey, those guys are just wasting time. I've already got that sorted out. And they get back here and they're like, a little bit butthurt. Well, you're positive if we get stuck, you're going to help us pull? Well, sure, but that's not going to happen. So, to sum it up, the power company gave us quite a bit of extra. We have cable, and that will be connected to that transformer right there. Now we can go look at the building. The power company will be here Monday. We'll be here on Monday to set the meter and connect to the transformer. Got some trash hauled off. Got a big pile of trash hauled off. We got the ditch filled in. Big hole is finally filled in. I've got to work on that bank because it'll still erode if we get another heavy rain. But fortunately, all our plumbing connections have been made. Oh, can't get my fingers don't go in there, so we'll walk around the back side. Garage is cleaned out. We're making progress. I didn't bring a light. Are we gonna need it? Hopefully we're not gonna need too much light because we don't have any windows covered anymore. The front bedroom. Well, they suggested that we leave these open for a couple days. I don't know, it's got bumpers on it. We've picked out all of our fixtures. We've got counters coming, should be next week. A little bit dark in here. We still have trim work to be done up here on around the perimeter. The electrician will be back. He said 2 weeks, but I think he'll be back next week. And we are so excited about our kitchen. We're excited about getting a septic tank. Septic tank and power. That's major progress. So we're down to finish out on the electric, finish out on plumbing, HVAC, septic, gutters. A little piece of trim to be done there, a little bit of metal work there. Had a gutter guy show up. The second gutter guy, first gutter guy showed up and didn't measure, and then this guy showed up, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But we are updated. We're so close. Hopefully by the end of this month, we'll be able to move in. Okay, you're up. Consider yourself well updated. We will we'll check back in next Saturday, see where we are. If this is your first visit to the RV Homestead Texas, I sure appreciate you stopping by, and if you're still with me at this point, thank you for that. I know your time's valuable. Thank you for spending some watching my videos. If you've not already, I would be most honored if you would consider clicking on the subscribe button. I do my best to post a new video every Saturday, so please click on the subscribe button. That really means a lot. Helps a small channel to grow. For those of you who have been following along, thank you. I am honored. And for our patrons, your generosity is most appreciated. You guys rock. All right, y'all come back next week.